we're starting to see a lot of overuse injuries. Kids literally going from a high school practice to getting in the car and being transported to another level of play, whether it be AAU or something in the community offered through the rec department. That time and that effort, that energy level, reduction in energy resources, it adds up. What is there a rule of thumb or something you can tell youth coaches about just the need to rest?
Yeah, unfortunately, there is no quote-unquote rule of thumb because every child is different, but rest is important. And then it all feeds back to what we talked about before. If you're putting out that much, you've got to be taking it. If you're driving a Ford Pinto, you could put some regular gas in there and you're fine. But if you're driving a Ferrari and you need to be putting the best gas, if you're an athlete, you can't do what all the other kids in school are doing. You've got to be treating yourself better. You need to rest more. You need to eat better. You need to have better drinking habits. You need to, if you get hurt, we need to figure out what is wrong, fix it, and then get you back on the field as quickly as possible, but healthy. Overuse also comes from little errors, overtraining errors, where people try to train on their own, and sometimes they don't coordinate the coaches. People that throw, fortunately, we put pitch counts on kids' shoulders. Fortunately, some youth leagues are looking at catchers and the amount of times that they throw the ball too, and limit the number of throws to avoid overuse injuries. If there's downtime, you got to take the downtime. If there's an injury, you need to ice it. If there's some soreness or ice is, talk about the whole water side, transform that to the frozen side of it. Ice could be the answer to so many different injuries becoming more chronic and more overuse type. Used properly, that's a big help too.
So proper assessment, limiting the activity, rehabilitating it, getting them back in an appropriate and meaningful way to return to play.
Yeah, I am not going to write a note for a kid that I treat to a coach and say, okay, he can't be on the field for 2 weeks. That's worthless. The kid being at home is probably going to be doing the same things and not be. That child needs to be at practice. That child needs to be on the field. Well, if their arm is hurt, let's keep them running. If their leg is hurt, well, let's keep them throwing. To keep them physically a part of the team and mentally a part of the team too. You don't want to have that detachment from being part of a unit.
Let's go back down into the rec league. I know some incredibly gifted coaches who, from day one, the key word of the entire season is fun. All we're going to do, you guys, is fun. If we learn a little bit along the way, that's great. If we have some wins along the way, that's great. But I want your experience to be a positive one. I want you to leave the season saying that was the greatest time I've ever spent. We kind of get those lines blurred a little bit as the kids get a little older. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of balance between winning, having fun, making youth sports a learning experience?
What's funny is it's not, and the coaches can continually do a consistently great job. And as the kids get older, the coaches are still continuing to do a consistently great job. But sometimes we see the parents' attitudes start to change. And sometimes their influence becomes even a larger part.
So what you're saying is parents have some sort of effect on the performance of the kids?
Parents have a huge effect on the performance, not just on the field performance, but the performance and the interaction between. Let the coaches be coaches. They know to teach the fun aspects of the game, and that's what they're doing. It's the push from the outside, in my opinion, that throws this thing off between we really need to win, that's the important part, to let's just have fun. Let's learn the game. Let's gain the fundamentals of the game. That's fun.
Sure
let's learn the right way to slide. I won't get hurt if I learn the right way to slide. Let's learn how to swing the bat more efficiently. It's more fun to hit the ball than strike out. And then let that competitive stuff, that'll come when they get older too. Learn the fundamentals. Let coaches be coaches. Parents let coaches be coaches, and the kids will be that much more healthier.
And have a much better experience.
And have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And have fun. And again, and you know what, and I know the name of the show is Health Matters, and fun has to do with health, because if you have an injury, if something's hurt, if you have to take time away from you're standing there waiting to hit the ball, and you know that your ankle is bothering you, you know if you're going to swing the bat, it is all interconnected.
Absolutely.
And if you take away from some of the mental aspects of the game because of a physical aspect of the game, it's going to take away from the fun that that child should be having.
Absolutely. So creating a mindset in the athlete from the coach's perspective and the parents, as we mentioned earlier, is integral in the learning of the sport. About the psychological side to sport, I don't know that a whole lot of research has been done with youth sports or even the high school level. A little bit, I know a little bit. But how important is having a positive outlook on your life and then on the activity in which you're pursuing to the performance and the success of that?
Yeah, but again, by profession, I'm a chiropractor and deal with a lot of the musculoskeletal type of issues. But this is one that transcends everybody. People, kids have to learn and have to learn from coaches the many of the life lessons. Like if I asked you, or if you asked me, who was one of the most important people in my life, and take the parents out of it and family out of it, I can name you my high school football coach. I can, those are the type, and some of his other coaches, those are the people that created life experiences for me that I still use now. And they gave me a positive outlook on, you know what, I really like sports. And like we talked about our kids earlier too. A lot of their drive of what they want to do, no matter what we as parents say, are going to come from their coaches and the people that they respect outside of the family. So creating that positive mental attitude of wellness and learning the sport, becoming even at a professional level. Some of our better players on the Ravens, we see them on Sundays, but during the week they're studying the game, they're learning the game. Why does Ed Reed end up intercepting the ball? Well, Ed Reed spends hours and hours looking at tape, looking at video. Why are some other players put in that position? Because they've grown to that. We need to get our kids to learn the game, learn fundamentals, have fun doing it, and they'll keep doing it. If they get hurt, or if they fail, or it's perceived that they have failed,
There you go.
they're not going to want to do it anymore.
Sure.
And we are going through such a deconditioning of our kids now. If we don't, it is up to the rec councils. It is up to some of the other phys ed programs that are still dwindling within the school systems now. Fortunately, here in Anne Arundel County, we're in really good shape relative to the rest of the country.
Absolutely.
But we cannot fail as Anne Arundel County in providing positive physical education for the kids, or else they're going to quit. I quit. I don't want to do it anymore.
Absolutely.
And then here comes the deconditioning. Oh, and by the way, who's going to pick up the tab for that deconditioned child when they get older?
We've had that discussion earlier. You know, eventually somebody's going to have to pay Social Security taxes, and if everybody's injured, hurt, or has had some sort of life tragedy, there's not going to be anybody left. So you make a really good point about that.
There is going to be Social Security? What? Is that going to be?
That's another show.
Yeah, okay.
Bringing the show to a close, any other points that you want to just let our viewing public know, or matters that we haven't had a chance to discuss?
Now, you know what? As simple as if something hurts, if your child is hurt or a child is injured, take care of it. Get it iced. If it's not going away, don't make that child continue to play on it. Get it checked. Get it checked by somebody who's reputable.
Sure.
And not just writing you a note that your kid's off from school. Start to change habits, not a quote-unquote diet, because diets don't work. Drink more water. Set an example. Be a parent. You as a parent drink more water.
Sure.
And guess what? You as a parent are going to feel a whole lot healthier too.
Good point.